The next stop is On the Radar Radio.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
Yes, sir, baby. On the Radar Radio. Yo, special guest in the building. He is back. He is here. Mixed Emotions out now. Roy Woods in the building.
My brother.
Appreciate
yes,
you, bro.
Thanks
Thank you for being here,
me.
man.
Yeah, man. I'm excited to be here, bro. You know?
I'm excited to have you here, bro.
Yeah, man.
Like, it's been, I feel like you're one of the artists who definitely has been on, like, my wish list of bringing to On the Radar, too, for a long time. And it was funny because I was telling you the story of how I've only ever gotten to see you live once, right? And it was at the Drake and the Three Amigos tour back in 2018, 2019. But I was so sick during that show. But I remember me and my ex made a point to get there early because I wanted to see you because you had just dropped the project around that time. And I was like, nah, we got to go see Roy Woods. I haven't seen Roy Woods once in my life. I felt like this was the only time I was going to get to see you live. And then it literally was the only time I got to see you live because here we are like 4 or 5 years later.
Right after COVID.
After COVID, new projects finally out, and, and now we back.
It's crazy because I've been a big fan of this platform too.
Oh, thank you, bro.
Yeah, man, big fan. Because my shit Unlock the Underground, right? So you're literally doing that here with this platform. So that, when I see it, I was like, oh, that's perfect. Like what you're doing is perfect. These kids need that. You know what I'm saying? Like just to get themselves. So I love it. I love this platform. So being on here is like.
Yo, I can't wait to like really come to Toronto and like get to really tap in with like the underground. Like, like that's what I'm really excited for too. Cause it's like I love when I get to go to the city and I find like I wouldn't call it weird, but like the eclectic music scene that is like that isn't really to the point. Like it's like in New York, like that isn't like mainstream yet. But like it's gonna be mainstream eventually. You know that like a lot of people is rocking with it. Like I look at someone like younger wise like Smiley. Like a lot of people don't understand his sound. But I feel like when I talk to people from Toronto, they're like, no, it's like its own unique thing out there, and like you gotta be from there to really understand it.
But now showing it to the world is kind of dope how Drake has shown that to the world because it's like so foreign to everybody else. Just Toronto, just a lingo, just the way we, you know what I'm saying, the talk, everything. So and then you have an artist like Smiley, right? It's just like a big culture shock in a kind of sense. You know what I'm saying? But. He does his thing. I love what Smiley's doing too, cause like that's my guy. First of all, even before OVO, you know, just natural, cool, genuine dude. You know what I'm saying? But like his sound always been different. Like he's been doing it for years. You know, before he even So it's like seeing him get to where he is now and like seeing the world react to it is very interesting. Because there's so much.
Because people still don't get it.
Yeah, exactly. And there's so much like that. So it's just like, it's very interesting on the inside looking up.
It'd be funny because like when I get to talk to people from Toronto and like we talk about like that sound. And it's like I know like a lot of Americans like don't like it. And I'm just like, but it's not meant for us. It's not meant for us yet. You know what I'm saying? Like I personally like because I feel like I got to know a lot of artists from out there, so my ears became like attuned to the sound. It's like how certain people don't like certain New York music or Chicago music because it's like you're not listening to it every day. So you don't get it yet. But but like if you lived in that environment for a certain period of time and you all you heard was the sound from that city, then eventually you're gonna you're gonna enjoy it eventually because your ears are gonna get used to it. It's kind of like having to listen to an album 6-7 times before you really get to understand it.
You're gonna be like, oh wait, I kind of get this now, rather than you just listening to the first time with a lot of judgment, I guess, right? You just take away all that judgment, and then you really just get to sit with it, sit with the piece of art that this artist was presenting to you, and you're like, oh, okay, I get it now.
Right, or like if somebody drops a project and then everybody wants to review it on Twitter like 10 minutes later.
Exactly.
Like, oh, this shit sucks. It's like, bro, this shit's been out for 10 minutes.
10 minutes. Wait, like 2-3 months. Go to at least for me, or even like a lot of OVO girls, like. A lot of I remember when Party would drop, even now when I drop, everybody has their judgments, and then like 4 or 5 months later, they're like, "Oh, this was the best album you ever dropped." I'm just like, you didn't get your heart broken first. You're dropping in the summertime. Get your heart broken a little bit. Go through some love, Then you'll understand what we're talking about. But everybody's lost in whatever feeling they're in right now. So and there's so much music too. So people really just resonate with what they feel. So if you're not feeling that, you're not really gonna take it in the moment. Like I even have that for myself when I listen to certain artists, and then I'll listen to it. I'll be like, oh, I wasn't feeling that much, and then like 3 months later, I'll go through something, or I'm just in this vibe, and it's like, oh, whoa, it's hit way more than it ever did before.
I feel like for me recently that was SZA's album.
Ooh.
Like I wasn't really into it when it first dropped, not because I think it was just I was so.
What?
I'm dead ass. I was like, Control was like my. That's like the album I used to listen to on the train in the morning when people were bothering me and I needed like the piece of, and like that was like my calm down album.
I feel you still.
And then when SOS came out, I liked the first couple tracks, but then like it wasn't sitting with me. You know what I'm saying? Like I wasn't sitting with. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? I love this last project. Why isn't this project sitting with me?
Yeah.
And then a couple months went by, and then it started really
resonating
with me. You know what I'm saying? Because I think also we face the pressure of like, you know, if you got a group of friends and they're like, yo, I love this project, I love this project, I love this project.
You gotta love it too.
then you start feeling like, oh, why don't I love this how they love this? And then you're like, maybe I just don't like this project. And I feel like I fell into that a little bit, especially with the world being like, oh, I love this SZA album, blah, 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 blah. But I think it's just like you said, it takes time to really consume music or be able to sit with it and enjoy it on your own. And you know, maybe somebody might not like your project initially right away, but 6 months down the line it's going to be their favorite album.
Exactly. It always happens. You always see it on Twitter too, so I'm just like, you know, I'm going to look at it now. Hit me back in a couple months when you be heartbroken or something. You're going through some shit. You're like, oh my God, this was my track. I'm like, I know.
Yo, you had mentioned you and Smiley way before all this, way before OVO, way before like the music. Like, what was like your early relationship? Like how long have y'all known each other?
Me and Smiley, it was only about a year, and I remember I first seen him at the OVO, one of the Drake concerts, and I seen him. I was like, oh, what's good, yo? And I feel like it was one of our first interactions. But from seeing him then, and I was like, oh wow, like you're really around now, right? And then I seen that, I was like, oh, this is crazy. It was beautiful because I already seen him around, so it wasn't like it was just random. Like he was already around for about a year or so. And then we started seeing him around even more and more. So, but Smiley was always cool, like mutual friends. We had like mutual friends and stuff, like even just rappers in the city, like, you know, going to parties, you see, you know, it was always cool. It was just, you know, very mutual respect relationship with each other, you know? Yeah.
You were talking about like some of the things that he had to overcome, right? With his current career. Like, do you felt like you had to deal with the same things when you first coming up? And do you get to even speak to newer artists like that? Not even just OVO-wise, but just like Toronto-wise, like, do you like have those conversations like, oh, you're gonna have to go through this, like this is something that people outside of Canada aren't fully attuned to yet?
Yeah, most definitely. It was always, well, first of all, we're always gonna get comparisons, right? Even for me, when I first came out, I was getting compared to Michael, The Weeknd. I still do, and even for me, I was like, damn, I just kind of want to be known as me, not
I just want to be Roy Woods,
right? And I had to break through that, right? And for every artist, you're gonna have to break through whatever people label you as when you first come out, right? Whatever names they're throwing at you, whatever opinions they may have, you have to break through that, right? Whether you think they're good, you're trash, your voice sucks, whatever, you got to break through it, right? You're here for, because at the end of the day, you are where you're at for a reason, so you can't let that outside noise get to you. You got to just keep pushing through it. I always tell them, because my situation is gonna be different from another artist. So I can't tell them what I would do or because I went through something different, but I can tell you like how to approach a situation so you can get through it easier. And we always have those conversations, man. Like I have those talks with a lot of artists in the city, just because I want to see them, you know, rise too. Like,
right. Well, I feel like now too, like international music as a whole is more like, it's starting to be more accepted, because I remember like years ago, whether it be like the Toronto lingo, people not being ready for that, or even like the UK. Like I remember when I was listening to like, I knew when I was listening like, I mean, but they're two, like obviously the two prominent, like I guess international forms of music besides like America, right? Facts, or like at least being consumed here in America. Like I remember like people would be like, oh, I can't listen to Skepta because I can't get through his project because of his accent.
Really?
Like I had people tell me this when like when I was interning back in the day at Power, like there was someone who was like, yo, I like this album, but it's something about the accent, I can't get past it. So it's kind of funny, like now, when you fast forward to 2023, and everybody's like, you know, it's more accepted now. It's like when something is like, it's like, oh, but this has been cool the whole time.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like the lingo from Toronto's been cool the whole time.
Yeah.
The lingo from the UK has been cool the whole time. And then now it's like, but now it's like an American audience, and the West is kind of like, yeah, we could probably, I think we could fuck with this now. So it's just funny how things, but that also I guess is kind of like in the same vein of like, it takes 6 months to get into a project. Really, it took 6 years to get into the
soak it up,
to soak it all up.
Exactly. Yeah.
With this project, right? Which I'm super excited that you're back, man. Because I know, for a while, obviously, I was like, "Where's Roy? Where's Roy?" You had the 2020, like the Dem Times EP, right? Which is kind of like a little, you know, just something for the fans.
Just a little splat.
But like, you know. Oh, thank you, Calvin. Thank you for the coffee, my friend. But for you, man, like, you know, what took so long? Because I think we all missed you. Yeah, really bad.
Thank you, man. I was honestly right after that tour. I went through a huge depression, bro. Like huge. Like my situation with my team wasn't right, and I was already in a place where I was trying to just keep everything together because I was like through loyalty and. I just had to. It came to a point where I said, you know what, I need to restructure my team in order to get the best out of this situation here, because it's literally driving me crazy, right? And I feel like I just can't get out of it. So I literally just had to say, you know what, forget it. I had to be selfish. And then I slowed down and stopped doing drugs, because I was doing crazy, like crazy, like a lot of Molly, a lot of Zans, like, and then friends started dying. So then I didn't even stop when they were dying. I wanted to, but I still had to kind of wean out of it. Right. So, you know, all that happened. Friends started dying. Real life started happening to me. I got my daughter. But that was like right in the middle of COVID, actually. Like right in the beginning of COVID, like 2021. So everything was just kind of hitting me. The ball was just rolling. This all started 2019, right? Like I took a huge break that year and I didn't do nothing because I was just like, yo, I need to figure out who I want to be, what I want. And I almost quit. I told OVO, I was like, yo, I kind of want to quit. I don't know if
you said it in the freestyle today
exactly,
too?
Yeah, exactly. I was just some real talk, some real shit. Like I really almost quit that was when I was 24. I was like right after my 24th birthday. Wow. So yeah, bro. So all that's happening, and then my daughter came into my life. Okay. And then I was like, I'm already making music. I'm already trying to get really right back in it. But then she just started this whole fire, bro. Like, yo, I kind of have to grow up really fast in like a year. Like, I don't even have no more time to really kind of like fuck around and fuck off. Like, I have to get.
It's kind of like the wake up call that you need.
Exactly. Right. Yeah, bro. So that's what, like, my manager Banks, like, he wasn't my manager the whole time. I had a different manager, and then he came in and he just started just wearing this hat. And I seen him. I'm like, yo, you need to keep that hat on, bro. Like, what's going on? You're doing way more than my manager right now is actually supposed to be doing. So I said, you know what? Let's just switch it up. And that helped everything become better, because for me, I have two managers, but everything, I'm a personal person. So if the relationship is off, everything's gonna be off, right? Yeah. And now it's completely perfect. You know what I'm saying? Just because, and Banks he didn't just come around. He's always been around, but he would just play in the background, you know, throw a couple here and there. But now it's like, yo, I seen that. I was like, yo, I need you to be here with me doing this on road, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Everything he did, you do that now. And since then, it's just been, that's why I'm back, bro. Those two, all that, he helped me bring me back. He said, yo, go to the studio, bro. He didn't start cooking. My manager just couldn't bring me in the studio. He had to. We had to talk on the rooftop, and he was like, yo, it was just like an hour or so, we were just smoking, and he just told me, yo, listen, you got to get back to the studio. It's that time now. It was about the end of 2019, and that's when I started to get back to it. Yeah.
So he really helped you out the depression and kind of move. Well, him and the birth of your daughter. Of course,
exactly. Yeah, helped me out so much, bro. So much more than I even knew at the time.
What does that call to OVO sound like? Like you just like woke up one morning and you're like, all right, cool. Yeah, I'm done. Like, was it like that, or was it like premeditated? Like how? Like almost quitting.
It was a little bit like that. It was a little bit like that.
You just woke up one day, you're like, fuck this shit.
I said, yeah, I think I'm done over there. Like I was thinking of everything else I can be besides making music, bro.
Oh my God, bro. That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it was bad, and I hit Mr. Morgan. I was like, yeah, I don't think I could do this thing. I want to quit. And so he's like, are you sure? Like, are you sure you want to do this? Like, we can work through it. I said, yeah, I think. He's like, all right, take some time first, and before you really, you know, and then come back to me. And that's when we had that talk. So that's when everything, I was supposed to move to LA, actually. Everybody tell me, oh, move to LA. I'm supposed to move to LA now, because I'm like, okay, I'm getting back in my groove. Yeah. Bro, that's when COVID hit.
I gotta say, like, I know, like Toronto and New York, we have a lot of similarities, right?
Yeah, facts.
I feel like moving to LA would just made it worse.
Bro. It would have, I feel like if I stayed during COVID.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I was not prepared for nobody, first of all, was anyways. Yeah. And I was just starting to get back onto my feet. So I feel like I would have just been right in the fire if I stayed in LA and not slowly just pick up my pieces. Yeah. Yeah, man. It was a crazy time. It was a crazy time.
So what year was your daughter born in?
2021.
Okay, so like a little bit towards like the end of the pandemic.
Yeah, it was like end this middle, right there. Like she's a summertime baby, so.
Wait, when's her birthday?
June.
Okay.
She in June, yeah.
So for you, like, she was unplanned? She was planned?
No, unplanned.
Unplanned.
Yeah, it was unplanned.
So it was really, so when we talk about, like, it was really like a wake-up call, like it was really just like a, like at a drop of a hat, like we gotta switch this shit up right now.
Everything, exactly, yeah. Like especially for me too, I was like, okay, I'm having a kid now. Like my other manager, he's like, listen, you don't have a lot of time to grow up left, bro. You got like a couple months if that. I was like, yo, let me get the young boy out now.
Like, yo, bro, you got 6 months to get this shit together.
Real shit, because 9 months is knocking, bro. You know, and when I found out, she was already 2 months, 3 months in. So I really had no time to grow up, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, it was it was such a crazy time. Looking back now, I looked at myself in the mirror today. I'm like, yo, I don't even feel the same. I don't even feel like I'm the same person as I was like 2 years ago. Like I feel completely different. My thought process is different.
Yeah.
The way I feel about myself, most importantly, completely different. Like I don't even remember the bad thoughts I used to have about myself like that.
Yeah.
You know, it used to be so man. That was my whole life growing up. It was so bad. Now everything is just more clear, way more clear.
It's crazy because I like went through like a similar depression during COVID too,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But now it's funny because like similar to what you just said. Like you look at yourself in the mirror, you don't even really remember all the bad thoughts that you were having back then. You remember some of them because some things stick with you forever. But like I think about myself, I'm like, damn, I was in such a dark place like July 2020.
Yeah.
And then just to think about like where we are now and like getting past those moments is like it's crazy to think about. Like when you look back on it, you're like, damn, like I was
a completely different person.
I was crashing out.
Yeah, I don't recognize that person anymore.
Yeah.
Like it's so crazy. It was a crazy time. But I'm glad though that I went through it because it showed that I can get through damn near anything really. Like bro,
Facts.
I was so wild, loose, immature. Like the person that I am now, I'm like, whoa, this is way more the person I want to be.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm happy with everything. I don't regret it one bit. You know what I'm saying?
Right, the whole journey to get there, right?
Yeah, the whole depression, not dropping music. Like I knew what I was doing. I was just like, honestly, I just needed to really get back to what made not Roy Woods, but Denzel.
I like that.
Yeah, that's what I had to get back to, man. And it's been blessed.
With your daughter, like, what was like? I'm gonna say funny. What was like the funniest adjustment you had to get used to with having your daughter? That you were like completely like not prepared for. That just kind of smacked you in the face one day.
Oh man. Let's see. Well, I feel like I kind of prepared myself for a lot, but I didn't realize the relationship I feel like I would build with my daughter and how much like I miss her when I'm gone. Because she don't live with me. Like here, me and her mom live in separate places, and I thought I was
separate cities or just like
no, same city.
Okay,
so I've always
she's not
seen
that
her.
far away.
No, she's not that far away, but I'm never home now.
Yeah.
So anytime I'm home, I'm always spending time with her. I'm always trying to, but it feels so. Like I didn't realize how much time I would really not be spending with her. Like I only get to see her like once a week now, if I'm home in the city, you know. So I mean that I felt like I would be ready for, but I don't really miss people like that. Like I miss my mom, and then like real talk, I don't really miss people like I miss my mom, my sister, and my daughter. That's really it, you know.
Right.
But I never realized like how unconditional that love is and how much I really miss it. You know, it throws me off. Even talking about it just throws me off. I'm just like I just can't wait to go back home, pick her up, and just have her with me for the whole week. You know.
So how do you prepare now for like tour? Because like we got the tour coming up for the project, right? So it's like, and you're gonna be practicing. You know, you mentioned that you have rehearsals and getting ready for the tour. So like, are you going back home and doing those rehearsals? You gotta be like away from her. Like, is she gonna be there? Like, do you get to spend these next couple months with her before?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like this is my like off season for me. That's how I'm looking at it, you know. So I'm gonna spend these times with my family, my daughter, and then, you know, right back onto the road right before Christmas. I'm trying to do this tour this year, so, you know, right before Christmas I'm gonna end that tour. But I want to make sure everything is knit, and I have my family, and we're all just moving together. Like my daughter, she don't even. Sometimes I'll be calling her, she don't even miss me. She ain't got time for me. I'll be like. What you mean? You won't talk to me.
Is she in the stage where she can like? Well, she's 2, right?
Yeah, she's 2, but she's smart.
I was about to say, is she in the stage where she knows what like FaceTime is and things like that?
Bro, she be turning off the button.
She be banging it on you?
Bro, she just be hanging up on me, bro. I be like, what? You are not serious? Her and her mom was like, don't do that. What are you doing? Don't hang up on your father. It'd be crazy, but she
kids
knows,
banging it on you on FaceTime is it never gets old because it's like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing hanging up on me? This shit is crazy.
Bro, like, you 8 months old. What are you doing, you know? Like, she was doing it from young, man. She always wants to learn about anything that she can do. Like, if she doesn't know how to do it, like, she has to get it down or she's not. Like, bro, I remember one time, she was like, 6 months old, 7 months old, and she's playing with a water bottle. She's the weirdest toys. We buy her toys, she didn't play with it. She plays the weirdest shit. So she's playing it, and she realized she can take it off and put it on. So then she's trying to turn it now, and she's like not getting it. And then we try to help her. Can't help her, yo. She's like, nope. And she give you a fake, nope. And she goes right back into it, and then she gets it, yay!
That's crazy.
Bro, she loves to learn. She just loves to get it right, you know? I love that. It's a little bit of me and her mom stuff, can't lie. So, but I love it.
That's great. When you dropped the 2020 EP, right?
Yeah.
Was that kind of like when he was pushing you to be back in the studio, or like where were you at when that came out?
Oh yes, you know what? I was already back in the studio, and I'm in LA now, working, making songs, and that's when they hit us with COVID. And I was like, oh, I gotta leave. I got healthcare back home. I can't stay here. Because I don't know what the pandemic, never grew up hearing those words as a normal thing. So I didn't know what to do. I said, I'm going home. But I was just right back in the studio trying to get in LA and live here now and make sure, like, I can just do what I can from here instead of always being in Toronto. And then COVID hit. So,
wow.
Yeah.
And then
crazy.
I already know I've had enough like Canadian artists that already know what lockdown was like for y'all. So I already know what it was like for y'all.
Man, you guys, yeah. Because I remember I'd be like, hear from some Americans, be like, yo, you guys got it bad up there, man. You guys got it rough, man. I feel so sorry for you guys.
Y'all dead ass cannot leave the crib without getting a ticket or some shit.
Yes, bro. We couldn't. Only the liquor or government-owned stores. They shut down so much mom and pop shops. Like, you can't leave. They had a curfew. They put us on curfew. Like, it was just not it. But I'm already a homebody, so I didn't really have a big issue. But I know everybody else around me was like, yo,
losing their fucking mind.
Crazy. Like, they couldn't party. They couldn't see friends. I'm just like, cool. I don't care. I'm cool. I'm at the crib.
Like, I'm about to work and shit, right?
Yeah, like, I'm cooking. I'm making music. I usually always had, like, my friends and shit, so we was being safe with it. But, pull up, party with me.
Right.
So it was cool, but... Yeah, I don't want to go back to that time, man. I'm good.
So moving forward, right, working on this project, right, when it comes to, now that you're sober, how does it feel then creating something like this versus whatever you were creating back then when you were, doing drugs and whatnot?
Nah, way better. I feel like I was slowing myself down with the drugs. Like I was only reaching a certain threshold because it made me feel so good, but I couldn't extend my mind to more knowledge or even bring in more knowledge for me to be like, let me add this now to my game. Like I was just kind of recycling shit, not knowing that. Right, that's what the drugs I feel like had me in a place.
Make you like the same type of like music.
Yeah, like I'm not really looking and venturing out into like more music knowledge, more art, more different types of styles of music. Like which is the artist I've always been. I was just kind of staying in one lane and just that was it. And I felt like I was good there. And I realized I had to kind of just stop that shit and grow and be the artist that I know that I always used to be. So it was a lot of that. Yeah, crazy. It was a whole process, man.
So with this project, when did you first start like, okay, I'm finally gonna get back to it. I'm gonna start dropping. Yeah. I'm gonna make this Mixed Emotions project.
It was right after them times. About, and I already had songs ready, but I didn't have the album ready. But it was like right after them times, right when COVID started, or right in the middle of COVID. Sorry, I was like, I'm trying to get this album out. Brought it to the label. I was going through names. I had to change the name like 3-4 times.
Why?
Just because there was it was too close at first to one of my friend of mine's projects.
Okay.
So I had to change it, and then what I created, we were using it for a couple months, the new name, but after a while we were just like, no, that's not it. So we had to change it again, and then it took us probably a month, 2 months. No, yeah, way more than a month just to get the name. So we're just like hustling and bustling trying to find it all, and then one day Banks came to me with the name, and I was like, oh, that's it. I love that. And he just Mixed Emotions. We were talking on the phone the day before or something, then he came to me the next day. He's like, I got it. I was like,
he's like, I got the name.
Yeah, man. We were going back and forth. It just, oh, man, it just wasn't good.
I feel like that's like the hardest part of everything, too. Trying to, like, since I've started working on music with artists, like, just sitting there like, oh, yeah, what the fuck do we call this?
Yeah, bro. Honestly, man.
Like, what are we actually calling this project?
Yeah, it's so hard sometimes because you're just making music sometimes. You're not really thinking about, at least for me, like, I'm just making music. So, I just make it all and see what I want to say on this project, how I want to, go about it, because I make so much different types of songs. So yeah, but it'd be hard, man.
When I had Division here about 6 months ago now, I think, when their project dropped, right, they spoke about being more open and more honest as a man in R&B and through their music, and trying to be more I think transparent was the word that they used, right? Because they felt like that it was always like the man had to be like the hero in R&B, right? Do you feel like with this project, like you also were able to reach that level versus where you were at before?
Oh, most def. I felt like I was able to. Well, first of all, I always wanted to tell my story in a way I couldn't, like speak about my childhood, speak about things that I feel like I knew made me shitty, made me look like, well, at least to other girls and shit. Made me like a dick, made me all that stuff. That just so I can. I don't know. I didn't want to paint a perfect picture of myself on this album because I'm not perfect, and no one is. So why would you strive for that? At least in that sense, you strive to be the best you, though. And that's what I'm trying to show on this album. I'm just giving you the best version of me all the way through, the good, the bad, the ugly, you know? And that's, I feel like, for me, trying to be as transparent as I can with my fans, because I've been gone for so long. And I felt like they didn't really know who I was after, like, the Exes Waking at Dawn era. It's like, okay, now who is this Roy? We don't know, you know? So I feel like this album was just trying to for me to be as vulnerable as possible, and it scared me too. Like, some songs, bro, it was scary to make them for me. Because I didn't know how to be that vulnerable at one point in my life. So me making those songs, it hit. Like, I'm going back home like, yo, what did I just make?
Which song do you feel like on this project was like the scariest song for you to make? And why?
I would say Gas Out the Window and I Just Want to Love, just based on letting people know my story. And the people who are going to hear it as well, like, they're going to know it's about them, and then I got to deal with that aftermath. But that's how real it was. Like, I never really got a chance to be like that on my albums or any project beforehand, where people are getting mad at me about what I'm going to say, you know? And that's what I kind of did on this album. Like, I know I'm going to have to go back home and deal with it. And I did, you know? I'm still dealing with it. So
these people, they're fully aware that the songs that are about them are out. Okay.
Yeah.
Have you gotten have they hit you up already?
Yeah.
How's that been going? Because hold on,
it's wild.
It's been out July 20. So it's been out for 2 weeks now. Yeah. So the project's been out for 2 weeks when we're recording this. So,
I mean,
like, what are the do you get the text like the night of, the next day, a week later?
One of them I did. Yeah.
Oh, one of them you got like what?
One of them I got the night of the album drop, and I was.
That's pain.
Yeah.
I go out. They couldn't have even given you like a day. Like,
nah,
they couldn't have even waited 24 hours.
Nope.
Which song?
3 hours.
Which
song?
Which song?
This is the last song.
Oh, last song.
This is the last song. I Just Want to Love. Yeah.
Okay.
And that song, I was like, oh, I knew what was gonna happen, but I was like, damn. Bro.
Well, you know, when you make something, you're like, oh man, I'm gonna get hit up about this. But then like the part of you's like, yeah, you know what? It's okay.
It is what it is, bro.
How did you deal with that then?
I mean, I just kind of. Because the song was such a strong statement, at least in that last song, it kind of, I didn't have to even say anything after the fact. It was just kind of like now the convos are dry more than ever before, you know? Even for Gas Out the Window, I have to play more mind games with the other person because they're not telling me anything. They're just kind of beating around the bush with it and acting like nothing really happened. But I know you heard it. So I'm waiting for the in-person link up, you know? So I actually have to force that.
Oh, so you actually have to see that person.
Yeah, because they don't want to talk to me about it on the phone, it seems like. So I got to go in, which when I go back home, that's what I'm going to do. But
does that stress? Yeah, I was about to say. I was like, does this stress you out that you got to go back, like that you know? Because like that lingering feeling, it's like, okay, cool, I'm gonna go back home. Good side of this is see my daughter, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Bad side of this is I gotta go see this person. I gotta go deal with this in person now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that part.
And you're okay with dealing with it in person,
of course, because I'm a person who wants to deal with it.
Okay.
Right? Everybody else is like they don't really want to deal with it. They just kind of put it to the side, and I'm just like, no, there's a problem. Like, this is what's going on. Yeah. That's why I make the songs, so people could just really listen and be like, yo, like he's been telling me for how many times, like, listen now, you know? So that's why I do it. So I'm waiting to just have a conversation.
He's gonna go back. Next time I see you back in New York, you'll be like, it did not go well. I'm gonna see you at the show. You're gonna look at me. You're gonna be like, you know what? It didn't go how I thought it was gonna. I didn't go how I thought it was gonna go.
Oh man, let's hope not.
But I like how like the balance of in terms of like the features. Hello, Glenn. How are you? The balance in terms of features on this project is good too, because I feel like you kind of gave like some of the more mainstream vibes with like Koi, but then like I like the Jada Kingdom link up because I felt like out of everybody you put on the project, like that was kind of like the one that I was like, oh wow, like I never really thought about what Roy and Jada would sound like. Yeah. But I thought it was cool. And I feel like also, if we're talking about people who I think are underrated, I feel like Jada is super underrated.
Oh, super facts.
And I feel like her music hasn't been fully appreciated yet.
It's about to be.
It's about to be by the masses. But I think it was cool how, you did this with her. And I felt like this even was a cool little look and a little something different for her as well, too.
Yeah, no, she killed it. She slayed it. Like, it's a Guyana and Yard link up on that record right there. Yeah. So, representing for the Caribbean and the islands them. So that already just made me feel great about the record. And then she just sauced it up perfectly. I didn't have to tell her nothing. Change nothing. Everything she sent me was like,
I'm gonna send it to her, or did you actually get to do this with her?
No, I sent it to her.
Okay,
I told her I had a record for her, and I wanted her on it, and then she hit me back verse. Same thing with Koi, same thing with Vori. They all just hit. Quoted a couple extra ad-libs for me and knocked it out right away.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Everybody was just so smooth written on this album for me. Yeah.
That's crazy. I like that because I like projects where I get more of the artists than like the features. You know what I'm saying? And I think like this is just a nice balance. But like you still kind of gave like the little mainstream thing here, the little Caribbean thing here.
Make everybody happy. You know?
Vori obviously slowing it down. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I really like that. You did kind of make everybody happy with that.
That's exactly it. Yeah. If you don't have to for me, you don't have to like the whole album because there's so many different vibes. Yeah. So how really possibly, unless you really are truly a fan. I love y'all.
Right.
But regardless of the fact, even if you didn't like the whole album, there's gonna be some songs, one song, two songs, you're gonna be like, oh no, this is my song though.
Yeah.
You know, and that's really what I was going for because I'm like, I cater to everybody, I cater to every sound as much as I can.
Right. Super random. I think I saw in an interview because when I was getting ready for this, I was checking out some of the other interviews. You said you were gardening during the pandemic. Was that real?
Yeah, bro. Yeah,
that was real.
Man. That was super real.
That was like your.
That was one of the things I was looking at. Like, I might quit this music and become a gardener farmer.
No, you didn't.
Look at him.
But you're Caribbean, right?
Yeah, I'm Guyanese. Yeah.
Okay, it makes sense then.
Yeah.
It makes sense. Like,
I'm gonna do it after though.
No, because I'm Puerto Rican. And like my parents, like I think they swear they want to own a farm in Puerto Rico now. They don't want to be in New York no more. So I think
I'm about to. After I'm done, y'all, I'm about to go my farm, chicken coop.
You think it's just kind of like something that's like ingrained in our DNA?
It's calling me, bro. It's calling me. It's calling me. I want my own vegetables, my own fruits, my own chicken coop, my own everything. Like I wanna make it on myself.
What were you? Did you have animals during the pandemic?
No, not really. I have like two
besides
dogs.
Besides the dog, I'm talking about like, did you get like some cows or some chickens?
No. My shit wasn't that big, dog.
What were you growing?
So I had like squash, zucchini, cucumbers.
Oh, you was getting busy,
bro. I had all sorts of. I had like little I forgot.
Microgreens?
Yeah, microgreens.
This is in the process of sobering up too, or?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, this is in the process.
Literally, so this is the therapy.
This was help exactly. This was therapy for me, and then I was like, yo, honestly, and I was cooking at the same time too, so I'm like, I'm just gonna cook what I farm, and it was blessed. Like I didn't even know how many things I can regrow, like lettuce, green onions, and everything. Like there's so much. Is someone
holding down your farm now?
No. I'm actually, me and my mom's, we trying to get it started, a little mini one. Yeah, me and my mom's getting a little mini one going on. So yeah, in the backyard, I'm gonna have something nice. Not a farm, just a little garden. It's nice.
Oh my god.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Your manager looks like he's fucking gardening during the pandemic instead of making music.
No, that ass no. Yo, it was crazy.
Well, we never gonna have to wait this long again, right?
Never again.
Okay.
The amount of music I have, you will never have to wait again.
All right.
I have too much, bro. Yeah.
I don't want to do this again in 5 years. And then I'm like, and then I pull up the clip from this interview. I'm like, Roy,
hey,
like you lied. You know what I'm saying? Like,
ain't never gonna happen.
Future
again,
Gabe and Roy, if y'all seeing this in 5 years and he ain't put out an album since Mixed Emotions, like we gotta have a conversation.
Never
you know
gonna happen. I promise.
So you're fully back. We're good. We're not going nowhere. We got tour on the way.
Yeah, man. Tour on the way. Yo.
Tour this winter.
This fall winter.
Okay.
Fall winter.
Fine.
Yeah, I'm gonna release a date soon. Yeah,
okay,
yeah. Back on road with it, man. Can't wait.
And we're gonna come back to New York.
Oh yeah, of course. New York is amazing. I love New York. It's only an hour away, so I'm trying to be here as much as possible. But yeah, definitely gonna have a New York show, and please pull up. Please pull up.
Please send me some dope artists from the city that I got you. About yet.
I super got you, bro. I know so much talent, bro. I got you.
Fire, Cal. Come on, because we got the segment where my photographer asks. Oh, no, be careful. New mic, so it's a little wacky.
Can you hear me in here?
Yeah, you good.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Cal's Questions. Roy Woods, my question for you today is, how has having a child affected your songwriting? Are you more careful using certain words? Are there certain vibes you try to cater to now because of that? Yeah.
No, not intentionally. I don't really switch up what I'm doing. I'm more adding. It helps me add on. Like, it builds more fire to be the artist that everybody knows me as. Like,
yeah.
I mean, in my day-to-day, I be trying to stay away from a lot of words. Well, not a lot. There's only a few, right? Because I have a daughter now. So that's definitely a work in progress, too. But it's more like I want to make something else that I haven't made before. That I feel like even when my grandma passed, she would have been proud of too, before she passed, because she always wanted to make some wholesome music, and that's low key the place I've been going to. Like I've been making some music that's like, yo, this ain't even like Roy Woods. Like it sounds like some Frank Ocean.
Fire.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like I'm
yeah.
on some whole different. So yeah, that's what she's been able to ignite within me, and I can now take my music to a whole different place, a whole new world.
I love
that I always wanted to, but now I can really, really like captivate on that.
That's fire, man.
Yeah,
well, I love that for you. Congrats on
Thank you,
everything.
man.
Mixed
Thank you.
Emotions out now. Freestyle out now by the time y'all see this, so go run that up. Before we get up out of here, my boy, anything else you want to let the people know where they can follow you at? All that good stuff. Now's the time to do it with this camera right here.
It's your boy Roy Woods. Roy Woods everywhere, right? Very easy. There ain't much explanation for that. Mixed Emotions out now. Tour, I'm going to drop the date soon, all right? So stay locked in. Follow me on IG, Twitter. I'm going to TikTok. I'm going to put it on there, all right? So stay tuned. You already know. YouTube, don't forget that too. All right, let's get it.
There you go. Well, make sure you go check out the new project out now. Look out for the tour starting soon. Run up that freestyle. Go follow him. Go show him some love. Go show him some support. Love is free. Sports free. But y'all already knew that. Till next time. Roy Woods on the radar. We out. Bow. My guy. Love.
Brother, love it.